comparison of the night to the curtain. The evening actually the velvet curtain, you can add velvet even, of night fell upon us. The evening didn't develop, the evening actually didn't develop into a velvet curtain practically. Here, strike this off. You add here practical, if you wish. So it is not a practical truth. The velvet curtain of night fell upon us. It is only a case of comparison. Metaphor comes to compare. This way, like, in order to give a better expression, in order to give better comparison style. So it will not be literally true metaphor. It merely helps explain an idea or make a comparison in a better style or way. Now let's go for next simile. Like metaphor, simile also comes for to compare. But what is the difference between a metaphor and a simile? Simile, this also comes to compare. A figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with other. A figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with other. But see, take for instance this phrase, as brave as a lion. Let's make a sentence out of this. See, he acted as brave as a lion. In order to give a vivid expression, in order to give a vivid detail, vivid description, otherwise, more vivid and more emphatic description simile comes where two things are compared and by means of the as or like. Always simile is where two things are compared. This way you can give a definition for. Simile is where two things are compared and the word as or like is used, and the word as or like is used. But in metaphor, the word as or like is not used. As or like is not used. That is metaphor. Okay, you see, the reddest flower would look as pale, the reddest flower would look as pale as snow See once again, as comes. This is simile. But you see, metaphor, now, no, not now, new. New drops that floated on the pool like pearls, and now a silver blade. These drops, now look like a silver blade. Each drop now looks like a silver blade. Here, like we don't use, but this is metaphor. A silver blade. This is metaphor. We don't use as or like over here. But whereas we use as here, we always use as or like in the case of simile, but not in the case of metaphor. Well, now let's go for alliteration. Alliteration is nothing but alliteration is nothing but the occurrence of the same letter or sound. Nothing but the occurrence of the same letter or sound. Check how the letters or sounds are repeated. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. And in this line, see, the letter is repeated, the sound also. Dead habit, a desert, there also, dreary, here also. Thus, there should be a repetition of the letter or the sound. That is alliteration. Alright. Next, let's see allusion. Let me give you a line as far. In this line, see, on the day of Sicilian July, with Etna smoking, what we find in this line, such as this, on the day of Sicilian July, with Etna smoking, what we find actually, allusion is there. Sicilian July is an example of allusion. Sicilian July. Sicilian July. Is allusion. Then what is allusion actually? An indirect, a passing reference. A passing reference is allusion. It won't be so straight like, it won't be so direct like. An expression designed to call something to mind without mentioning it all very explicitly. Something it will pull to the mind without mentioning it very directly. So this is an indirect reference. Allusion is nothing but indirect, not so straight about, right? Next, personification. We shall go for the personification. We have finished alliteration and allusion also now. And personification. What is actually personification? Something which is not a human. You're going to make that one, that entity, into a human. One like means that is like personify. That which is not a person you are going to personify. That is personification. For instance, you take this particular line. How beautiful you are. Yeah.